Champion as a brick and mortar business, right? And it's interesting because when I first started following you, that didn't exist, right? And that was maybe, I want to say 10 to 15 years ago, I started following you and learning from you. At what point did you decide, I kind of want to create this really cool physical therapy model that encompasses strength conditioning, physical therapy, sports performance, and just create exactly the environment that you believe in? I don't want to put words in your mouth, that you believe in to best treat patients, clients, right? Athletes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a very similar progression where, my time with the Red Sox was up. I had a choice to make. Did I want to stay in professional baseball and move to another city? Right, that type of thing. That's kind of what people do. So I had an opportunity to move to Chicago. I mean, we were super close. Like, had a realtor on, like about to call, like about to rent a place. Like it was close. We decided for personal reasons that we had to stay in Boston. So at some point in time, and this isn't a bad thing, but and Lenny McCreen and I, we talk about this all the time. We evaluate people, but I was at a point where I felt like I was unemployable, right? And it's an interesting concept, and it's not because of anything about me. It was purely with my mind and my creativity. I think I would have just felt really, really trapped if I had to like just go work in a hospital-based setting or something like that. So, I had a unique opportunity, right? That I had, some experience with the Red Sox. So being in Boston made it a little bit easier. But, I started slow with no expectations. It was one of those things. I just started like treating people just for fun because, again, that was a passion of mine, right? And again, it kind of like it built up over time. So eventually you said, well, heck, I guess I got to start a business here because if, just simple things, if I wanted to go on vacation, like who would work with my Tommy John post op, right? So we have to start a business here. We have to actually start like making this real. And then you start thinking like, all right, well, I don't want to just work like in a 10 by 10 room, or I don't want to work in like an office building. I want this like cool sports performance center. So you're like, okay, I guess we have to make a gym then, right? And then if we're going to make an 11,000 square foot warehouse, then we have to add a service line of like fitness and sports performance just to monetize the space in those times, just so we have an amazing sports PT clinic, right? So you see how everything like evolved over time, but for again, authentic reasons where we just wanted to deliver an amazing product. And for me, I just I consider myself creative, right? And I think there's a lot of people, like I think all of us at Champion are creative, and that's why we excel at what we do. But you have to let those creative juices flow sometimes. And I couldn't imagine just going in and just working like in an outpatient setting and not having control of that creative freedom, right? That might come across odd, but for me, it was more just about being trapped in a tunnel versus actually, it had nothing to do with me thinking I was like better than anything. I just didn't want to be trapped. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think a big theme here too is authenticity. And I think another part of that is authenticity to yourself, right? Because throughout this process, you're like, you know what? I could work for another pro sports team, potentially, I could definitely get a job, let's say in standard orthopedic setting, but that's not going to be fulfilling in any way
Right.
because running a business is not easy, right?
Right.
So it's not like
Right.
you took
Yeah.
the easy route and like, oh yeah, this is the easiest way. It's not, right? For folks that
Right.
haven't tried to do that, but you were true to yourself. It did something that kind of went along with your moral compass, what you wanted to accomplish, and what you thought was best for folks around you. And that's been really cool to watch that grow over the course of time. And it's been great for me, obviously, because now I have a really cool career and I get to do things that are similar to you and fulfilling. So thank you.
And again, it goes back to the fact when if you build things for the right reasons, right? So you notice like we haven't really talked about the profit or being able like to build something to make money. It's about doing things that I really love that you do for the right reasons. Then your target market loves it, right? So we grew fast at Champion, right? Just because the service we were delivering to people and that you're delivering to people, it's amazing, right? So we had no expectations, right? We had no idea. I had no self confidence that just me alone was going to be able to, drive up enough business to just satisfy myself, let alone hire, 7 therapists now that, and looking to expand even now. So like, what an amazing journey it's been that, people are essentially saying they value what we're providing if we're getting busier and busier.
So here's what I want you to do next, guys. If you enjoyed this video so far, I have an entire course. It's free. It's called the Fitness Pain Free Mini Course. And we go over 3 lessons going to help you take a lot of this information that we went over so far and put it into practice. The first lecture is called Why We Need a Better System. So first and foremost, the way we treat fitness individuals, all right, athletic people in the gym from a physical therapy perspective is pretty much broke, okay? So we need a better system to serve the folks that are in the gym that get hurt, they want to get back to training, all right? Lecture number 2 is called 7 Reasons Why People Get Hurt in the Gym. And essentially, we have to know the reasons why people get hurt in the gym so we can keep them safe in the future, right? And when they get hurt, we have to know why and how to get them back to training in the gym. Okay, so a thorough understanding of this is very, very important. I actually have a really cool infographic that goes along with this lecture that you get for free as well. And lastly, we go over a case study of how to get someone out of pain and back to training. So these principles are all phenomenal, but we don't actually put it together and you don't understand how to create a program to get people back in the gym and keep them safe for the long term, then we lose, right? So I'll put a link in the show notes for this. It's a Fitness Pain Free Mini Course. Definitely check this out.